If for the audience that doesn't know, who hasn't read up much on you or hasn't watched many of your videos,
Sure.
can you talk about some of the projects you worked on? Like you've created some wild inventions, you and your team, and you worked on a lot of different things. Can you walk us through some of them?
Well, probably we basically what we did is we built a lab to try and invest in invention and really to find a way to fund inventors and take on developing new technologies that wouldn't get done in businesses. And you see a lot of what we call technology today is really just iPhone apps and enterprise software. It's not really tech. So we invent at the lab at a large scale. I think most years we were the biggest inventors in America. But we'd start with big problems. And so probably our most famous invention is a machine we invented that can find mosquitoes and shoot them down with laser beams as a malaria intervention. And again, we're living with COVID right now, which might take 1 million lives globally this year. Malaria takes almost 1 million lives every single year and has for our entire lifetime. Most of them are kids under 5 years old. Coronavirus is impacting us because it finally is a disease that managed to catch rich people in America. But the truth is, for most of the sub-equatorial countries, they've been living with a lot of infectious disease, for our entire life. And what it really means is that we figured out how to solve some of those problems. In the West, we figured out how to solve those problems for rich people, and then the job wasn't finished. We didn't figure out how to go solve that problem for everyone else. And so that's why I fixate on disease eradication, because it's the kind of thing where we know the kinds of things we could do to make a dent in the spread of malaria and some of these other diseases. But we haven't done a great job of doing it for the whole world. And so I think the potential in our lab was to try to invent technologies that would help us scale up how we could do it. Now, shooting mosquitoes with lasers isn't the solution to malaria. It might be a tiny piece of it, but we also invented diagnostics using artificial intelligence that are, way faster, cheaper, more accessible, more scalable, so that and diagnostics are important because if you can test somebody and figure out that they have the disease, maybe you can treat them before it takes their life or before they spread it to other people, that kind of thing. And that's a lot of what people are just learning about in America for the first time with COVID, because, we've been lucky not to have to deal with it. But we also invented a machine that can suppress hurricanes as a kind of way of ameliorating some of the effects of global warming. We invented a new type of nuclear reactor that's powered by nuclear waste. That's a modern, safe reactor design. And a lot of people don't even know that's possible. And so there's a lot of really cool inventions, intellectual ventures from that. And, those are things that take a long time to commercialize, So, when you're inventing, you're a lot of times 10 or 20 years before a product.